Welcome back to Red Pen of Destiny, here for another episode of Show of the Year. Of course, still covering 2017's American Vandal. We are on the penultimate episode, Climax. Bit confusing. So this starts with Peter's suspension getting overruled in some talks with the vice principal and a lawyer, I believe. And that ends with him being allowed back to school, and in all of the teacher files that were not released being released, and him being given copies. And so with those complaints, they are able to find a complaint against Coach Rafferty for inappropriate conduct with a student or something, which turns out to be more that he was dating a student's mom. And he does come and admit that. That's at least what this episode suggests there. That isn't necessarily the reason for the complaint, because the complaint doesn't actually make any sense. That might be unrelated. But maybe it isn't. I don't know. It seems kind of weird the way it was worded, but it's just me. But we'll get to that in a minute. And then there's a little kind of side thing that Sam has been doing, little side investigations where he just comes up with ridiculous stuff. The example they use is it's like, I think it's like uncircumcised penises of Hanover High, and he's like, is Dylan Maxwell circumcised? I don't know. Do I want to find out? Yes. It's pretty funny. But the reason they brought that up is because he was ranking like Hanover High's hottest mom, so he could figure out which one Rafferty was dating. And he puts Peter's mom at the top. Yeah, okay, that's just nonsense. But what they find out is that the mom in question was Mackenzie Wagner's mom. And Mackenzie would obviously not have been happy about that because her parents recently got divorced. You can put two and two together, I'm sure. And that leads Peter to assume that Dylan did do the dicks and that he was lying about it the whole time. And then he goes off and accuses Dylan quite loudly of lying about it the whole time, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the episode ends with Mackenzie giving Peter access to a video that is very helpful, shall we say. It's a cliffhanger in that episode, so I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll talk about it next week. Not a very exciting episode, considering it's the climax episode. A lot of stuff happens, but it's just not quite as interesting. So I moved the panda again. But we'll be back next week for the actual last episode, Cleanup.